Good afternoon, students. Today we will continue the problems of first exercise from the chapter binomial theorem. That is from question number 11. See, find a plus b whole power 4 minus a minus b whole to the power of 4. Hence, evaluate root 3 plus 2 power 4 minus root 3 minus root 2 to the power of 4. If you observe, almost these two are similar, but instead of a they have given root 3, instead of b they have given root 2. So first of all, we need to find what is a plus b power 4 minus a minus b power 4. Here you should not apply direct formula. Why? Because this is a question from binomial theorem. So you need to expand this a plus b power 4 minus a minus b power 4 in expansion manner only. You know that, see, already we know that a plus b power n, which is equal to nc naught a power n plus nc1 a power n minus 1 into b plus so on up to nc n b to the power of n. In that manner, we need to expand those two. So when we consider this a plus b power 4 minus a minus b power 4, we will expand those. So which is here n value is 4, right? So a value a, b value b. So which is 4c naught a power 4 plus 4c1 a power 4 minus 1 3 into b plus 4c2 a square b square plus 4c3 a into b cube plus 4c4 b power 4, right? Now minus of, now we expand a minus b over to the power of 4. Same formula we will apply. So which is 4c0 a to the power of 4 plus 4c1 a to the power of 4 minus 1 is a cube into, in the place of b, what is there? Minus b is there. When it comes to this, in the place of b, minus b. So this is minus b plus 4c2 a square b square plus 4c3 a into minus b whole cube plus 4c4 minus b to the power of 4 is nothing but b to the power of 4 only. Now if you observe this, is there any common elements? Yes. 4c0 a power 4 minus 4c0 a power 4. Next. So these two won't be cancelled. Why? Because this is plus, minus into, this is also minus, minus into minus, plus. Plus means 2 times of 4c1 a cube b. Next. Plus 4c2 a square b square minus 4c2 a square b square cancel. Next. 4c3 ab cube minus into minus 4c3 ab cube. So this is also 2 times of 4c3 ab cube plus 4c4 b power 4 minus 4c4 b power 4. So these two also will be cancelled. Next, what we got is finally 2 times of 4c1 plus 2 times of 4c3. You know, value of 4c1 is 4, 2 4s 8 a cube b plus 4c3. See, 4c3 is also equal to 4c1. Right or not? NCR is equal to NC n minus r. So 4c1 value is also 4. 4 into 2 is 8 a b cube. See, from these two what we can take common is 8 also we can take common, and also ab also we can take common. If we take ab common, here it will be a square, here it will be b square plus b square. You can check. 8ab into a square is 8a cube b plus 8ab into b square is 8a b cube. So this is what the value of a plus b whole to the power of 4 minus a minus b whole to the power of 4. Now instead of this, consider a is equal to root 3, b is equal to root 2. We get from this equation, substituting a equal to root 3, b equal to root 2, it will be root 3 plus root 2 whole to the power of 4 plus, minus, this is minus root 3 minus root 2 whole to the power of 4. So it will be equal to 8ab into a square plus b square. What is a? 8 root 3 into root 2 a square plus b square, root 3 whole square plus root 2 whole square. So which is equal to 8 root 3 into root 2. Root 3 into root 2 is nothing but 8 root 6, 3 to 6 into square root cancel, 3 plus 1 as number 5, which is equal to 5x 40 into root 6. So like this we will find by using binomial expansion. Similar to that problem, we have another question from that exercise only, that is question number 12, that is x plus 1 to the power 6 plus x minus 1 to the power 6. After finding this value, hence evaluate root 2 plus 1 whole to the power of 6 plus root 2 minus 1 whole to the power of 6. So this is also same manner. This one you will expand by using binomial expansion. After getting that value, instead of x you need to substitute root 2. That's it. Then you will get root 2 plus 1 whole to the power of 6 plus root 2 minus 1 whole to the power of 6. Pause the video to note it down. Next question, question number 13. So this is show that 9 to the power of n plus 1 minus 8n minus 9 equal to 64 into d, where n is a positive integer. This question is somewhat related to mathematical induction. So that is also one of the chapter, that is mathematical induction. So what is this mathematical induction means? We need to prove that LHS equal to RHS by using different manner. In that different manners, so this is one of the method. That method we consider as principle of mathematical induction. So how we will prove by using principle of mathematical induction means by considering n equal to one value. So n equal to one value, we need to tell LHS equal to RHS. After that we need to assume that for n equal to k it is true. Next one, for n equal to k plus 1. Nothing but in the place of that LHS and RHS, we will substitute n equal to 1 value, next 2, next 3. If it is satisfying for every value like that, we will set that LHS equal to RHS is true for n is a positive integer. Nothing but n belongs to a natural number. So that means n equal to 1 we will prove. After that, any two consecutive numbers, nothing but k, next one is k plus 1. If we select 4, n equal to 4, next is n equal to 5. So if n equal to 1 is satisfying that equation, and again two consecutive numbers, it may be 4 and 5, 2 and 3, 9 and 10, like that. If any two consecutive numbers also satisfying means we can tell that. So that is proved by using principle of mathematical induction. If n equal to 1 also satisfies, n equal to k and n equal to k plus 1 satisfies means, so that given statement is true anta we can consider. So to prove that, so this is a very important method, that is principle of mathematical induction. See all the problems in mathematical induction only by using this method, n equal to 1, n equal to k, n equal to k plus 1, just only substitution. See from that mathematical induction chapter also you will get one 5 marks question, only one 5 marks question, only one question from that chapter only, that is also 5 marks question only based on these steps, n equal to 1, n equal to k, n equal to k plus 1. And also that proving method is also will be used in binomial theorem as we are doing now, and also in second year, when you go to second year in matrices chapter, in that chapter also we will use that method, PMI, nothing but principle of mathematical induction. Let us solve this one also by using that method. Select P of n be the given statement. So this is a procedure you need to follow. Let P of n be the given statement. So nothing but we can consider P of n such that what is that, 9 to the power of n plus 1 minus 8n minus 9 equal to 64 into d. See what does it means 9 to the power of n plus 1 minus 8n minus 9 is equal to 64 into some constant. So that means this whole LHS is a multiple of 64 we need to prove, that's it. Very simple thing, that whole LHS part is a multiple of 64 we need to prove. Here into d is any positive integer also we need to consider, right? Simply, so this LHS should be a multiple of 64. If n value varies also, it should be a multiple of 64, that's it, that we need to prove. Now first step, that is step 1. Here only we have 3 steps, right? First, n equal to 1. For n equal to 1, what is LHS? When comes to LHS, what is LHS? 9 to the power of 1 plus 1 minus 8 into 1 minus 9. What is that? 9 to the power of 1 plus 1 is nothing but 9 square. 81 minus 8 minus 9, which is 81 minus 17. What is the value of 81 minus 17? 64. Now, what is RHS? RHS is 64. Into that D value we will consider as into 1, which is equal to 64. Why? Because for the first step, n equal to 1 means we need to consider this as 1. So here 64 equal to 64, therefore LHS equal to RHS. If LHS equal to RHS means what? P of 1 is true. Nothing but starting we have considered as P of 1, n. But instead of n, what we have substitute 1, so P of 1 is true. Or if you write here instead of 1, if you write 64D also. So 64, here also 64 into some D. So nothing but here it is a multiple of 64 or not. So it is a multiple of 64. Next, step 2. Step 2. In the place of step 2, what we need to consider? For n equal to k, assume P of k is 2. P of k is 2. See, in the 3 steps, n equal to 1, k and k plus 1, n equal to 1 and n equal to k plus 1, we need to prove like that. LHS equal to RHS. But n equal to k step, we need to assume already it is proved on that. Right? So, P of k will be, P of k such that 9 to the power of k plus 1 minus 8k minus 9 is equal to 64 into some constant we will take. Right? Now, by using this second equation, we need to go for n equal to k plus 1. So here n equal to k plus 1, right? Now here n equal to k plus 1. n to the power of k plus 1 is equal to 64t plus 8k plus 9. Can we write like this? 9 to the power of k plus 1 is equal to these two, if we send it will become 64t plus 8k plus 9. So we can write. Now, by using that equation, we will go for step 3. What is that step 3? We need to prove that P of k plus 1 is true. We need to prove that P of k plus 1 is true whenever P of k is true. When of P of k is true. Nothing but if we take any n value, that consecutive number also should satisfy. That means this number we are taking. So that number is k. If we take n equal to k, the consecutive number we need to prove. So that is k plus 1. So therefore we need to prove that P of k plus 1 is true whenever P of k is true. So for that P of k plus 1 we will consider LHS. What is that LHS? 9 to the power of, instead of k we need to take k plus 1. So k plus 1 plus 1. So n is k plus 1 is there. Minus 8 into k plus 1 minus 9, which is equal to 9 to the power of k plus 1 plus 1. We can write as 9 to the power of k plus 1 into 9. Can I write? So here bases are equal. If we add 9 to the power of k plus 1 plus 1 only we will get minus 8 into k minus 8k minus 8 plus 9. Sorry, minus 8 minus 9. So this will be equal to 9 to the power of k plus 1. What is 9 to the power of k plus 1? According to this, 9 to the power of k plus 1 is 64d plus 8k plus 9 into 9 minus 8k minus 8 minus 9 is minus 70. Right? So pause the video, note it down this side. Next. Now by using that equation, if you multiply 64d into 9 is 64 into 9d. Next 9 into 8, which is this is 72k. 9 into 9, this is 81 minus 8k minus 70. So this will be equal to 64 into 9d plus 72k minus 8k, which will be equal to 64k plus 81 minus 70, which is equal to 64. So from these three, if we take 64 common, it will be equal to 90 plus k plus 1, right? Where k is also an integer. Why? Because where n is a positive integer, right? Given n is a positive integer. So in that positive integers, we have considered n equal to k. K means some positive integer. If n equal to k is some positive integer like 4, k plus 1, that is also positive integer, 5. Like that, k is also positive integer, d is also positive integer. Nothing but 6 into some positive integer we will consider. Nothing but 64 into some z plus. 64 into z plus is also a multiple of 64, right? For example, the z plus, if I consider 64 into 1, which is 64, it is a multiple of 64. Next 64 into 2 I will take, which is 128. 128 is also a multiple of 64. So therefore, n equal to 1 satisfy, n equal to k satisfy, n equal to k plus 1 also satisfy. Therefore, what we can write conclusion is, given p of n is true for all n belongs to n by using PMI. By using PMI, nothing but principle of mathematical induction. Principle of mathematical induction. See, this is very important process and very easy one. Only substituting one value, k value and k plus 1. In some problems, while proving k plus 1, we need to use that second step by substituting. So this is about the question. Show that this is equal to 64 into d. Pause the video to note it down, and next we will discuss the topics of general terms, middle terms, when n is an odd number, when n is an even, and also term independent of x, and also how to find coefficient of some particular variable in that expansion, that we will discuss. So pause the video to note it down. Now we will discuss general and middle terms of the binomial expansion. See, we all know the binomial expansion. For example, a plus b whole to the power of n. How we will expand by using binomial expansion is nc naught a to the power of n plus nc1 a to the power n minus 1 into b plus nc2 a to the power of n minus 2 into b square plus so on up to last term ncn b to the power n. See, we all know that if that index is nothing but power here, if that index is n, number of terms we will get is n plus 1, right? If index is equal to n, number of terms we will get is equal to n plus 1. And also if you observe this expansion, so this one we consider as first term, right? This is first term, this is second term, so this is a third term, like that. This is which term? Nth term or n plus 1? This is n plus 1th term, not nth. Generally we consider this as nth term, but this is not n, this is n plus 1. Why? Because as index is n, number of terms are n plus 1. But if you observe here, in that first term, what is this value? 0. Second term, this is 1. Third term, this is 2. So if it is n means this is n plus 1th term. And another thing you need to observe here, so in a and b, if you observe these two variables, in the first term it is n, next is n minus 1, next n minus 2, so on. In this last term, n minus n, nothing but 0, a to the power of 0, 1. Now when it comes to variable b, here 0 means b to the power of 0, next here 1 means b to the power of 1, here 2 means b to the power of 2, next in third term b cube will be there, in that n plus 1 it is n. First term 0, second term 1, third term 2. Like that in 12th term, that b power will be 11 like that. So by using this, what is general term? See, general term is nothing but which represents all the terms, but instead of writing all the term, we will use only one term, that we consider as general term. See, if it is first means it representing 0. So we need to write tr plus 1, which is nothing but ncr a to the power of n minus r into b to the power of r. This we consider as general term in that expansion a plus b whole power n. Why we are considering this as general term means this is t plus 1th term. That means if you want to find t4, T4 is nothing but T3 plus 1. What is T3 plus 1 here? R value is nothing but 3. If you observe this. Now NCR. So actually the term is NCR, A power n minus r into B power r. But NC, what is R value here? NC 3, A to the power of n minus 3 into B to the power of 3. So to find this fourth term, as here third term means it is 2 now. So like that, if you want to find fourth term, this will be 3, and here B to the power of 3, A to the power of n minus 3. So this term TR plus 1 we consider as general term. This term will be used to find any term in that expansion. For example, if you want to find T11, to find T11, this R value will be 10. Why? Because T11 we will write it as 10, T10 plus 1, which will be equal to NC10, A to the power of n minus 10 into B to the power of 10. So that's why this term we will consider as general term to find any term in that expansion of A plus B whole to the power of n. Next we will discuss about middle terms. See, number of middle terms and the middle terms based on index value. Why? Because for example, if you consider A plus B whole square, that simple formula which is A square plus 2AB plus B square. In that, how many terms we got? 1, 2 and 3, which is based on this index only. If index is 2 means we will get 3 terms. If index is 3, A plus B whole cube, which is A cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square plus B cube. So here how many terms we will get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because based on that index, if it is 3 means we will get 4. But if you observe here, in this first formula, index is 2, nothing but even number. In this second formula, this index is odd. As here if it is even, as index is even, we got number of terms is odd. Index even means number of terms will get odd. If index is odd means number of terms will get even. Nothing but n plus 1 is the formula, right, to find number of terms. Now another thing, if you want to observe here, if it is even, number of middle terms 1, 2, 3. Out of these 3, which is middle term? 2AB, nothing but only one middle term will get. But if you observe, if the index is odd, number of terms will get even. But if you observe middle terms 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4, which is middle term? We cannot decide that only one particular term is middle term. We need to consider the second term and also third term should be the middle terms. So you need to observe here, if index is even, number of middle term is only 1. If index is odd, number of middle term is 2 we will get. So to find if 2 and 3 like that small numbers means easily we can identify. But what about if it is A plus B power 10, A plus B power 20, 25 like that? For that we have formula. If n is equal to even, nothing but n we are discussing about index. If n is even, number of terms is equal to n plus 1, which is odd. Now to find middle terms, how many number of middle terms we will get? Number of middle terms is equal to only one middle term we get. For that formula, middle term is equal to n by 2 plus 1th term. N by 2 plus 1th term. Why? Because if n is equal to 2, for example, if we consider this example as n is even, 2 by 2, nothing but 1, 1 plus 1, second term. Second term is the example for this. You can substitute any n value, any even value you can substitute, you will get the middle term. Next, if n is equal to odd, number of terms will get even, nothing but n plus 1 formula. Now to find that middle term, number of middle terms we will get is 2 middle terms we will get. For any n value odd, you consider 7, 9, 13, 27, whatever it may be. If you consider n value as odd, so you will get 2 middle terms. For to get 2 middle terms, formula is n plus 1 by 2 and n plus 3 by 2 terms. So those two will be the middle term. For example, if we consider a plus b to the power of 9. So what are the middle terms here? So middle terms will be formula n plus 1 by 2. What is n? 9. So 9 plus 1 by 2 and 9 plus 3 by 2. So which is 9 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 5th term, and 9 plus 2 by 2 is nothing but 6th term. 5th and 6th terms are the two middle terms in this expansion a plus b to the power of 9. Now see, after knowing that this particular term is the middle term, we got here 5th and 6th. To find 5th term, so which formula we need? We need to use the general term. So what is the general term? Tr plus 1. So to find 5th term, T5, how we will use? Instead of T5 we will write it as T4 plus 1. Then R value will be the 4. So formula is NC4 a to the power of n minus 4 into b to the power of 4. So like this we will find T5, and also to find T6. Which one we will use? T5 plus 1, which is NC5 a to the power of n minus 5 into b to the power of 5. Like that we will find middle terms based on the index value, whether it is even or odd. Even means only one middle term, odd means two middle terms, which is n plus 1 by 2 and n plus 3 by 2. Pause here to note it. By using general term, what are the problems which you may face based on these general terms are like to find quotient of some particular terms, like see, for example, if they ask you to find quotient of x to the power of 5 in the expansion x plus 3 whole to the power of 8. If they given x plus 3 whole to the power of 8, if you want to find quotient of x power 5, see, quotient of x to the power of 5 is nothing but, for example, in the expansion of a plus b whole to the power of n. For example, if it is a plus 1 whole to the power of n, expand this nc0 a to the power of n plus nc1 a to the power of n minus 1 plus nc2 a to the power of n minus 2 plus so on. Why? Because here 1 to the power of anything is 1 only. If they ask you to write find the quotient of a to the power of n minus 1. So quotient of a to the power of n minus 1 is nothing but nc1. This constant value we will consider. Like that, in this expansion x plus 3 whole to the power of 8, what may be the quotient of x to the power of 5? See here, no need to expand that whole terms, whole binomial quotients, no need to expand. By using general term, we will find that. And we know that what is general term? Tr plus 1 is equal to NCR a to the power of n minus r into b to the power of r. Now, see, instead of n we will substitute that 8, instead of a we will substitute x, instead of b we will substitute 3. So as n equal to 8, a equal to x and b equal to 3, we will substitute in this general term, which is Tr plus 1 is equal to 8Cr x to the power of 8 minus r into 3 to the power of r. See, from this general term, what we need is quotient of x to the power of 5. That means this term should be equal to x to the power of 5. X to the power of 8 minus r should be equal to x to the power of 5. Then this 3 power r and 8Cr will become quotient of x power 5. When these two will be equal, when 8 minus r equal to 5, nothing but r is equal to 3. That means when r is equal to 3, we will get quotient of x power 5. If r is equal to 3, which term we need to find? T4. What is T4? T3 plus 1, which is 8C3. X to the power of 8 minus 3 is nothing but x to the power of 5 into 3 to the power of 5. Now we need to find 8C3 value. What is 8C3 value? 8 into 7 into 6 divided by 8. We need to decrease 3 times. Again 3 into 2 into 1 into x to the power of 5 into 3 to the power of 5. So 3 to the power of 5 into x to the power of 5. So from this equation, if they ask the quotient, so then quotient of x to the power of 5 is, simplify these two, 3 to 6, and this is 8 sevens, 56 into 3 to the power of 5 is nothing but 243. If you multiply these two, you will get a constant number, that is a quotient of x to the power of 5. Last concept of this general and middle terms. in that final concept is term independent of x. Nothing but if we expand a plus b whole to the power of n or any value like x plus 3 whole to the power of 8, term independent of x. Term independent of x is nothing but in that term x shouldn't be there. Like that, in a given expansion we need to find term independent of x. That may be first term or second term or third term, but in that term x shouldn't be there. How to find term independent of x? For example, if the question is x plus 1 by x whole to the power of 2n. In this expansion x plus 1 by x whole to the power of 2n, find the term independent of x. If they ask how to find, so we cannot think about all those terms, right? Like whole to the power of 2n. Whole to the power of 2n means how many terms will be there? 2n plus 1 terms will be there. We don't know the value of n. So n number of 2n plus 1 number of terms will be there. So out of those terms, which is term independent of x? How to find them? We can find simply by using general term. What is the general term? T r plus 1, which is equal to NCR a to the power of n minus r into b to the power of r. If you refer any books, see in some books they will give like x to the power of n minus r into y to the power of r, like t r plus 1 is equal to NCR x to the power of n minus r into y to the power of r. This is also correct when if they consider x plus y whole to the power of n. If we consider a plus b whole to the power of n, this is the expansion. If we consider x plus y whole to the power of n, this is the general term. Now by using this general term, we are going to find term independent of x. So in this t r plus 1, what is n value here? N value is 2n. So 2n c r. What is a here? X. So x to the power of 2n minus r into y. What is y? 1 by x to the power of r. If you simplify this, 2n cr x to the power of 2n minus r into 1 by x, we can write x to the power of minus r. So this will be 2n cr x to the power of 2n minus r. Again minus r, it will be 2n minus 2r. As they asked to find term independent of x. Term independent of x means x term should not be there. X term should not be there means x to the power of 0 it should be. So then what we need to do? 2n minus 2r we need to equate to 0. Then we will get 2n equal to 2r. Then r equal to n. What was the value of r we got? R value is n. So if we substitute r value is n, so it will be tn plus 1, which is equal to 2n cn x to the power of 2n minus 2n, which is equal to 0, which is 2n cn. Simply nothing but here term independent of x means n plus 1th term. Here what we got? R value n. If r value n means n plus 1th term we get. So like this we need to find term independent of x. See another question. For example, if it is 2x plus 1 by x if they given whole to the power of 6. The expansion is 2x plus 1 by x whole to the power of 6. Find the term independent of x. Find the term independent of x. By using general term only we will find. For example, see. T r plus 1 is equal to NCR. What is NCR? 6CR. A to the power of n minus r. What is A? 2x to the power of 6 minus r into 1 by x to the power of r. Right? Now if you simplify this, after that x to the power value you will get na? That power if we equate to 0 you will get r value. If r value 1 means 1 plus 1 second term. If r value n means n plus 1 the term. Like that we need to find first of all r value. So this is 6CR into, this is 2 to the power of 6 minus r, x to the power of 6 minus r. Here 1 by x to the power of r means x to the power of minus r. So minus r you will get minus 2r. So this is the general term. So they ask the term independent of x. That means this should be equal to 0. So 6 minus 2r equal to 0. So 2r equal to 6. R equal to 6 by 2, R equal to 3. If R equal to 3, which term we need to find? T4. T4th term is the term independent of x. What is that term? If they ask me, what you write? 64, sorry, R value 3 na? 63, 2 power 6 minus 3 is 3. So this is the what? Term independent of x. See here, you won't get, for any expansion you won't get a term independent of x. For example, in some expansions, in each and every term x value will be there. In that cases, we will get r value 1 by 2, r value minus 7, or r value, what we will get, r value minus 0.5 like that. We will get negative numbers, fraction numbers like that. If we get like that, we cannot find that which term. If you get proper values, then only we get term independent of x. Like that. See, some of the problems I will give for assignment. See, based on those assignment problems, you can get a clarity of how to find general term, middle terms, term independent of x, and coefficient of some terms like coefficient of x cube into y power 5. How to find all those based on the assignment problems. If you solve by your own, you can understand this binomial expansion, binomial theorem very clearly. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day.